3. Here we are, look.
Chairs in the.
I'll tell you off camera.
No. Let me take the board, you can have a look in a minute.
I think I made a decision to go early because the clouds, in the morning the clouds were looking really good and they were starting to flatten out as the briefing happened. So I thought get off early, get up, and got off second, got a good climb up to base just before just after the first start actually, so I thought this is a good place to be. There was a few of us up there, Paul Harvey was up there, Justin, and then we had a nice little gaggle. We waited for the 1 o'clock start and then headed off with Grant and a few others, and we made pretty easy progress over the valleys, got to the end of the valleys. I think it was Justin found a reasonably good climb at the end there. We got up and then Justin and Grant headed off pretty quickly, and I thought I'll just hang back a little bit because it looked a little bit gloomy out there, and I thought that was perhaps going off a little bit quick. So we sort of minced around in fairly weak lift for a while, and really it wasn't looking too good then. The high cloud was coming over, there was some scrappy little cumulus out in the flat areas, so we just really sort of took it easy. We glided very slow and we just worked every little bit of lift we could find and just worked our way slowly across the flat area towards turn point 1, and it started to look a little bit better down towards the turn point. The clouds were starting to build, the sun was starting to come out and starting to feel a bit more confident, but as we got there we started to get lower and lower. We got to the turn point and then we're all pretty much about, I don't know, 1,500 foot above the deck, 2 grand maybe. There was Ron and Craig and a few of us, and I think it was Mike that found the thermal that got us out of there off the industrial sheds. All came over to him, climbed out, and that took us to I suppose about 3 grand, and it was enough to clear the river. Craig and Ron were climbing still in about a 1 up or 2 up. I decided to go off because I thought Grant and Justin was still way ahead of us, and I thought I'd try and catch up a bit of time. Little did I know. And that was the big mistake. Well, it was a big mistake because that was the worst air I got the whole flight. And
flight technically.
Oh, of course. And I hit some pretty bad sink across the other side of the river, and I was with Paul. Paul was gliding beneath me, and we got pretty low, didn't we, over the other side. And there's a little village that was in sun, and Paul flew over it, and I saw his wings just start to waggle a bit, and I thought, oh, that looks right, and he just did a couple of turns and then flew off and landed, and I thought, so I went over there and it was just bitty bits of lift, and circled in that for, I don't know, 10 minutes, and I looked up and I see Ron and Craig flying over my head about 3 grand. So it took me ages to get up there, and eventually it cored into about a 7 up, and it was just a constant 7 up all the way to base, and that enabled me to catch Ron and Craig up and the others, and then it was just a question of making sure we had enough height to get into goal, and just working the numbers out, and we waited for about 8 to 1 on the GPS and glided in. That was it.
Well done, Dave. Agree with us that we can't call a safe, meaningful task. So I'm sorry to drag you all here, but we clutched at straws and we failed. But
No, you failed.